Star Trek has been around for a very long time, just over 50 years. You've got the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. You've got all the movies as well, and then obviously you've got the rebooted Kelvin timeline as well. Now, all that being said, I'm not a Star Trek guy. I'm not really into it that much. I do appreciate it for what it is and for what it's done for science fiction. But kind of like my favorite Star Trek, I tried to get into TNG a little bit, but I'd say my favorite is probably the Kelvin timeline. Even though Into Darkness wasn't that great, I really enjoyed the Kelvin timeline, especially the 2009 movie and Star Trek Beyond, which I thought was a wonderful kind of, just a wonderful way of appreciating what the show is all about, because that film felt like kind of like the concept of an episode from the original series, just extended into a movie, which I think was a great way to kind of like celebrate the 50th anniversary of the franchise. Now, in saying all of that, you get Star Trek Discovery, which is a new Star Trek series coming soon, and I don't know, it seems like people aren't happy. And I get that, you know, the Kelvin timeline, some fans aren't really into it, unfortunately, for whatever reason, and I haven't really been enjoying it. So to get a new Star Trek series that's not based after The Next Generation, I think they're finding quite frustrating, because now they've gone back to 10 years before the original series and they're doing Star Trek Discovery, but it doesn't look like 10 years before the original series. It looks technically like it's set in the future. So there's kind of like rumblings that this may be another reboot, because this is referred to as being in the prime timeline. However, it seems like they may do some kind of timey-wimey reboot and establish a new prime timeline, which could piss off fans. But in saying that, I think fans should be really happy that there is a brand new Star Trek series, because it's what they love. I mean, it's Star Trek, kind of give it a chance in a way. I've seen a fair amount of negativity towards it, and look, I get it, but there's one thing that you guys need to understand. You guys haven't experienced what I like to call a Phantom Menace level event. Now, I'm a Star Wars guy. Like, Phantom Menace is by far the worst Star Wars movie that ever exists. And hopefully it will exist. Hopefully there'll be nothing as bad as that, so therefore it means everything else is better and good. But to me personally, I don't think Star Trek fans have anything to complain about, because even with things like Enterprise, which wasn't super popular, and the Kelvin timeline, and even Discovery, I mean, even though we've not seen it yet, it's still not been as shit as anything that Star Wars fans have had to go through. That's true. That's true. I'm not saying you don't have the right to complain. You do have the right to complain, but realize that it's not actually been that bad for you guys. It's actually been really solid and really good. Maybe at times mediocre, but you haven't had complete crap to deal with. So I reckon kind of you guys, Trekkies, should give Star Trek Discovery a chance when it comes out later this year. So at San Diego Comic-Con, they're actually going to do a panel. I forget as to what date, but there's going to be a panel. And I reckon they'll probably drop a new trailer at some point. I'll show it at a panel, and then probably it'll get released online as well. But no, I think you've got a lot of strong actors in there. I think it could be really good. But there are kind of worries. I get why there's some worries, but I mean, you just got to cross your fingers and hope that it is good. I mean, it does look pretty good. I mean, the new ship that they're on. Well, I say new ship, it's not new, but I'm not too fussed about the design. I wish it was kind of that grey-white colour, because the bronze thing just looks bloody weird to me. But I think it's got good production values. That transporter room picture though, I don't think that's aboard the Enterprise. For some reason it's telling me it's not aboard the Enterprise. If that's part of the Enterprise, I'll keep calling it the Enterprise. It's not even the Enterprise, is it? I don't even know what the ship's called. But whatever that ship is, surely that can't be part of the inside of it, because it doesn't look like it matches the rest of the design aesthetic with the rest of the ship that we've seen in the trailers. It like makes no sense. But I reckon Star Trek Discovery is kind of a new phase for Star Trek fans. And I know it can be difficult, but just hope that all the things that they've changed up will actually keep it fresh, because if you keep things the same, they get stale and they can become quite boring. This is why I kind of welcome the changes that have happened with Star Wars in regards to the kind of stories that they want to tell and the standalone stuff. Although the standalone stuff to me at first sounded like stuff I didn't want to see, like Rogue One. I didn't want to see that story originally. I wasn't excited. So only once I saw that first trailer I went, holy crap, I was wrong. And we can all be wrong sometimes, but Star Trek Discovery, give it a chance, Trekkies. It might be good. And if it's not, you can tear into it afterwards. But until then, just be hopeful and have your fingers crossed. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.